Hello there, it's Tamara Doris, your Sacramento real estate professor and professional, here to give you a little bit more insight into whether you're buying or selling a home. And today we're going to talk to sellers, potential sellers, future sellers. Listen, I want to make it super crystal clear that above all else, I would never ever speak disparagingly against another agent. It's just not in my DNA. I do not believe that we can speak badly about people and it doesn't come back at us. So I want to make that crystal clear before I dive into this, because I don't want this to be misconstrued as me talking smack about my fellow agents. I don't do that. In fact, I will go so far as to say over the last 22 years as an adjunct professor of real estate at American River College, it is my hope to give back to the industry by teaching thousands of students who come through my classrooms the importance of full disclosure, of ethics, of creating relationships, of being a nice person. I mean, that is always my big goal with my real estate classes, is to help bring people in this industry who are honest and, and really are very ethical in their production, in what they do. Okay? So that said, that was kind of the preface to this video. I want to talk about two things that I think all sellers should be prepared to ask. And where I don't want it to sound like I'm saying something negative about another agent is when I talk about full-time versus part-time. There are some great agents who are part-time. No disrespect whatsoever. Sometimes I have a lot of students in my classes who are starting part-time so that they can build their real estate career and then take it as a full-time career. But if you are a seller and you are thinking about which agent you want to list with, you want to ask the question, are you a full-time or a part-time agent? The reason I say that, much to the chagrin, I'm sure, of my students who want to just start part-time, but the reason I say that is because if I'm working with a seller, my first priority, my fiduciary relationship, that's the legal term, my fiduciary relationship, the seller, who's my principal, who I owe the utmost care, honesty, ethics to, the utmost, and we have to display ethics all throughout the industry, but my seller is my principal, and that's the person I am in contract with, and I have a fiduciary relationship. Now, if you are a seller and you are hiring an agent, even though a part-time agent may really want to work hard for you and do a really good job, you have to ask yourself if they have a full-time 9-to-5 job. It's totally okay to have another gig. Like, I've been a part-time professor of real estate, oh my gosh, 22 years. So yeah, I am a full-time agent, but I do part-time something else. But it doesn't interfere with my business, okay? I teach 2 nights a week. Doesn't interfere with my business. But there are a lot of agents who may get into this industry part-time, which is about 70% or more of the current real estate agents in the United States. Think about that, 70% or more, who have a full-time job, who have to go to work 9 to 5. So where is that a challenge for you as a seller? Well, first of all, if this person is dedicated, clocking in and clocking out with a full-time job, that means during the daytime, they're not going to be able to handle a lot of things for you, right? Like when calls come in, when offers come in, when negotiation is needed, when those last-minute emergencies come in escrow like they do all of the time. If this person is chained to a desk or doing a 9-to-5 job, it could really impede the ability that they have to serve you fully, to be there and be able to take a call on a dime, just to have the time to serve you like you need to be served throughout the day at different times. So I would always, if I were a seller, I would always say, are you a hobby agent? Are you a full-time agent? Are you a part-time agent, but really open and flexible and can help me anytime I need it? Kind of those things. I'm not saying that as a seller that your agent shouldn't have boundaries. Like if you call me at 8 o'clock at night, like someone did last year and said, I don't have a key to my house, it's in the lockbox, can you help me? And they were 45 minutes away. And I said, no, I'm so sorry, I can't. I have my grandchildren over and I can't leave them alone. I'm not gonna, get them up out of the bed. They just had the bath in the bed. So I couldn't help her. Have I done that in the past? Yes. But I have to have my boundaries, just like your agent should have boundaries, just like you have boundaries. So except for the anomaly, if someone calls me because they had a little bit too much to drink and locked themselves out of their house, I am there. I am full time. Like I go and I do things. I meet the inspectors. I do the comps. I go talk to people. I go to signings. I do all of that stuff. But a person who is chained to a desk 8 hours, 9 hours a day can't do that. That's number one question. Are you, basically, are you a hobbyist or are you in this? Is this a career? Is this something that you live and breathe every day? I think it's an important question, especially with so many part-time agents in the country. I just heard a presentation, a Remax presentation yesterday, and he said that 78% of agents don't even have a listing right now. That's a lot. That's significant. That's almost 80%. So it's something that you want to ask. The second question that you want to ask is, do you have a marketing budget? A lot of times when agents first start out, and even those who are working part-time, and maybe they're working full-time and they just haven't developed the business, the inventory yet, and the relationships, they don't have the budget for it because they haven't been selling houses, or they just don't have the income for it from their other job. But if your agent doesn't have a marketing budget, there are so many ways that we need to have money before the house sells. By the way, that's one of the reasons why real estate agents make what seems like a lot of money, is because we are all in, win or lose. Like, we could spend several $100s out of pocket on your home to promote it, to hold it open, to do all the things that we do, and then you may change your mind, or your sale may fall through and you're like, forget it, I'm not doing it. And so there's no guarantee for us. The only guarantee with a contract is that if I sell it in the period of time that it's listed, then I get to get paid. But sometimes houses don't sell. Sometimes they don't sell because the seller has priced it too high. And shame on the agents for take overpriced listings, because we shouldn't do that. Is it just makes everything bad for everyone all the way around. Back to my story. The agents are going to need to be able to pay for professional photography. Never has it been more important. We are in a visual society now. Everybody wants to see pictures. So a top-notch photographer probably costs around $300. Right? Now, if it's a luxury listing, which I would say 800,000 or above, you're going to want to put it in magazines and, and luxury listing places, and those cost money. If it's not a luxury listing, no big deal. I don't even do a lot of luxury listings. But if it's in whatever range it's in, we want to hold open houses, and we want them to be open house experiences, extravaganzas, right? We want to bring treats and refreshments. We want to invite neighbors. We want to leave flyers on the porch of all the neighbors. We want to have signage all over the place. That takes time and money, right? Back to the part-time agents. It takes time to do all of this and to plan all of this. And then finally, Facebook ads. You really, if you want to sell a house and you want to get top dollar in the quickest time possible, you got to run a Facebook ad on it. Some people like Instagram ads. I like to do tours for YouTube on this channel. I'll start doing more tours, but you've got to have exposure. You've got to get the property out there, and not all of it's free. A lot of it can be free, but there's other things involved in it. There's just things that come up. And so you want to make sure that the agent you hire has a budget that they can spend a little bit of money helping you get the word out on your house. Okay, so those are the two top questions I would ask. And then the third question, which agents may hate me for suggesting this, is what sets you apart? What sets you apart? Why should I pay you 6%? Or, whatever, why should I pay you whatever your fee is when that other person, says they'll do it for 4 or 5? And I go back to questions 1 and 2. Are they a full-time professional realtor who is absolutely up to speed on all the changes, all the laws? Do they have a budget to promote your house? And I would say both of those are super important. But what sets me apart is having been a real estate professor for 22 years, teaching real estate law, practices, principles, economics, finance. I know this industry. I know what disclosures need to go and when they need to go. I know timelines. My job is not to, paste a smile on and say open house. My job is to make sure I get you the highest price for your home, and that I get exposure to as many agents as possible and buyers, and ready for this one, and keep you out of court. That is like my secret goal. Now, I'm not an attorney. I just got through telling you I've taught lots of real estate law classes, so I know the law, but I'm not an attorney. I want to be really clear on that. But even so, just for my education and my advanced education, I understand that disclosure laws are probably the one thing that get violated that end up in the Sacramento real estate courts. It congests the courts. Failure to disclose. Did the seller know that? Did the agent know that? So I understand how that works and how it operates, and you can rest assured that if you're working with me, I'm going to make sure that nothing slips through the cracks. I have a team who helps me. I trust you as the seller, and I definitely trust my own judgment as knowing what forms need to be filled out, how to protect you. And one other thing I want to add is when it comes to negotiating on your behalf, I am like a mother lion. There is no way I'm going to let someone take advantage of you. And I don't know that a lot of agents are like that. I have worked with some excellent agents in Sacramento, so they are around for sure. But a lot of times, if an agent sits at your kitchen table and they're willing to take half their commission or, reduce it by 30%, you've got to ask yourself, are they willing to give in so easy when it comes to my home? What about on the repairs that the buyer wants that I don't think I should have to fix? How fiercely is this agent going to defend my purchase price and my repairs that I want to do as little of as possible? So those are the things you have to ask yourself. You want someone who absolutely understands real estate law and disclosures, who's going to keep you out of court. This is California. Lots of people sue lots of people. We don't want that to be you. Someone who knows all the avenues to expose your property so we can get you the highest and best deal in the shortest amount of time, if that's what you want. Sometimes I have sellers who are like, we're having a home built, I want a 60-day escrow. I put a different hat on for that because now I've got to position your property where I get you top dollar as fast as possible, but we might need to do a seller rent back, right? Or maybe a seller free rent back. It just depends. Regardless of what it is though, I'm going to negotiate my brains out on your behalf. And hopefully by now you can tell I have a lot of energy. Don't let that slow you down. If you're thinking, oh, she's got too much energy, she talks too fast, I can't keep up, don't worry. I will slow down for you. It's okay. I'm used to having a lifetime of people saying, can you slow down? So I absolutely will slow down. I will make sure you know 100% every step of the way what we're doing, and I will counsel you through the rough patches because it's not unusual in real estate for us to have rough patches. And rough patches usually manifest by I'm having a stress attack. Oh my gosh, what is that buyer thinking? Help, right? That's what I'm here for. I'm here to absorb the stress and the pressure so you don't have to. So if that sounds interesting to you and you'd like to set up a time, a Zoom call where we can have an appointment, just click the link below and I will be happy to chat with you. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye-bye for now.